We're going to be backwashing a sand filter. This particular sand filter has a Pentair push-pull valve. My first step is making sure that my skimmer basket at the side of the pool is clear and empty. This one's kind of dirty. I'm just going to leave this one out. And I'll shut my equipment off. And once again, we want to make sure that all our baskets are free and clear so that this pump can pull the maximum amount of water to get the most dirt out of this filter when we backwash. Goes back in. Make sure our lid's on nice and tight. And before I change the valve to backwash, I like to get let the pump run for another minute or so, or another couple seconds, and let that pump pull a full prime of water so that we can really get a good backwash. So we'll let that water come back up. I don't know how well you can see it in there, but you get the water flowing back into the pump. Once that strainer basket's full, we'll shut the system off and then begin our backwash procedure. So now that my baskets are empty, my pump's full of water again, come back to my backwash valve here. I'm going to run my hose out to a good spot where it can drain without flooding anything or making a big muddy mess. I'll take my push-pull valve, turn it a quarter turn, push down on it, turn another quarter turn to lock it into place. And then we'll turn our system back on. And what we've done here is we reverse the flow in the filter, and instead of it going back in the pool, it spits out through our backwash hose. What that does is that loosens up all the sand and jostles up all that dirt that's packed in there, and then spits it out through here. And what you'll see is we got some dirty water coming out here. It's almost looking like chocolate milk. And I'll know when my backwash is done when this water turns to almost clear or basically clear. It's important that we go through all the steps in backwashing and complete by putting our pump back in filter, because if we don't, we're going to have a flooded yard. And even I've done that, and I am so good at backwashing that people pay me to do it. As you can see, that water is still dirty. Now, backwashing is important not only for cleaning that filter out, but also for removing old chemicals and dead algae spores and all the old contaminants that don't evaporate out of the pool with the water. So that when we backwash, we're taking water out of the pool and then we replace it again with fresh, clean, new water. Now that my water's clear, come back here, shut the system off. Let's turn our valve back the other way, quarter turn, pull it up, quarter turn back to lock it in place. We always do this with the equipment off because most of these valves are just made of plastic. And doing it with the water on will damage it or break it. Now what you didn't see before is our pressure was up around close to 20 pounds. And now we're at 10 pounds. So what we've done is we've just decreased the resistance of the water moving through the filter so that our pump can move more gallons per minute and circulate more water. And that should be done at least on a weekly basis, or when the pressure gets to be about 5 to 10 pounds higher than what you'd normally see. And once again, don't forget to put it back into filter mode when you're done backwashing. We're back circulating water again. On occasion, sometimes with the push-pull valve, you get a little poof of dirt back out, and that's just some residual dirt we couldn't get out with the backwash, and that's typical of a push-pull valve. And you can kind of see here we're just getting a little bit of dirt coming out, and that's just typical with the limitations of a push-pull valve. When backwashing with the dial valve, we want to make sure once again that our equipment's off before we turn the valve. We turn it clockwise from filter 180 degrees to backwash. And we turn our system on. We do our backwash, finish the same way, shut the system off, continue to turn it clockwise to rinse. What rinse will do on the dial valve is that's going to get rid of that first little bit of dirty water and keep it from going back in the pool. And we'll just let that run for 30 seconds or so. Back to filter. System back on.